That's why I couldn't see anything. Wave! Look like you're having fun.
Doug Walker is taking near midfield. Timeout. Eagle. Take this opportunity to tell you the Dell City varsity cross country team will be running tomorrow in the regional cross country meet at Woodson Park, 1 o'clock. Go on the track. On the truck.
Todd.
Don't say a word.
Del City kicker, number 10 is David Buchanan. John Daly is deep for Watson.
What's the problem?
Your lens is on. Your lens is on.
No, the inside of the lid.
A green dot.
Come on.
Like we film our home movie.
Watch out, he's filming.
Duck, duck.
Look, you hit the man, you die.
Curtis at the 15, 28, first and 10. Guest and Quirk split wide for Del City.
What was that, about 2 weeks ago? I think the door's over there. It sounds like wind. I'm freezing in my ear.
Doug Watson, the ball carrier, up over the 30-yard line, out near the 31.
I heard it. Well, what? No,
Pick up of about 3 yards, second down, 7.
Get his attention.
Timeout. Lawton.
I always wanted to be a star.
Okay, what's your name?
Angie Custer. You know my dad.
You know me,
And what's your name?
Jason Rose.
And who's that funny looking blonde kid over there?
Him? I don't know where this guy is. This is Sean Ware.
Sean Ware?
Where'd you bring that camera?
And who else do we have here?
Mr. Tim Carpenter. Yes. Remember, it's not me.
Todd, step back.
That's monkey face. Get it? Monkey face. Hello there. We have acrobat.
I didn't hear you.
Okay, that's that. Hello.
Man. 3, 2.
We both say what the year is. That's all it's fancy. I got 33 out of each. Somebody threw up. Pizza, bad too. Good. They don't want to bring their party. I'll just go solo.
All right, let's hear a solo.
I'm sorry, you're not going to get paid for this. Angie thinks she's going to go to Broadway after this.
I'm coming over tomorrow.
On you. Thank you.
Yeah, it would have been an accident.
I know you're trying to get in there.
only drive one way.
Who decides which way it is?
You only drive one way.
Show it to her mom.
Yeah, I'm serious. What do you think that is on there? A big old microphone. They put a sponge on there.
That's neat.
They just put a sponge on there, you know.
You hear something there, guy?
It's one of those little things that they come by. You gotta go here.
Jason, break down. That's Todd Duffin.
Mike Turbofield. Mike Turbofield.
Turbo. What song was that you? Now, we.
Jason Rosenbaum.
Blue.
Rosenblue.
Does that automatically adjust itself?
Okay, you ready? Are you ready for this? You ready? I never asked.
On tape.
Get this on tape. What are you talking about? You never did anything with Andy. You never asked. Whenever me and Andy. Come on. Please.
Try and blink your eyes.
I want the whole world to know. I want to show this to the fans.
Oh.
Try and blink your eyes to the red light. This guy here taking pictures of us. We know that this guy was. Get away from me. From Channel 84. Channel 1.
Yeah, right. No one's catching the ball.
Sing Baby Bumblebee again, except the other side. Now he has to get back.
Okay, ready?
Sing.
It's all sing. It's all sing.
She's fighting.
He's so proud of me. I'm squishing up my baby. Oh, he's all gooey. Wiping up my baby. Oh, my mommy, he's so proud of me. I'm wiping off my baby. On you.
Trying to get emotional. Your mom's gonna kill you now.
Look,
Oh, man.
watch this.
Giving me a heart attack.
No.
Think it'll work? Don't hold on to it. Okay, now sit on it, Angie. Sing Baby Bumblebee. Watch this. This is
Baby Bumblebee wants me to
watch this.
All right.
It sounds like a baby.
It's a little teeny. Look at that little thing, it turns around all by
Okay, that
itself.
little green light's on.
Little red light. It's red. It's red, Sean.
On the inside is green.
It's on, and there's also an orange one on.
Hi! Like this, it sounds real funny.
No.
Hey, Jimmy.
Let me see it.
Now say,
Oh.
hi, my name is Raggedy Ann. And it's on candid camera.
On it, Dodo.
No, you don't need to finger on it.
You don't?
Release it.
Just push it and let go. There, see, it's still running.
Do you know where your
Yeah.
child is tonight?
I hope it's not with the
I didn't get it.
I love it.
Do you know the joke about when the Germans say it is
Hey, I
10
gotta
o'clock? Do you know where your wife is?
Let's watch
Russians,
Jimbo eat.
Russians, they say it is 10 o'clock.
Hey,
Do you know where your
Jim.
husband is?
Jimmy,
In Poland, they
We're
say
gonna watch
it's
you
10
eat.
o'clock. Do you know what time it is?
push it again.
Hey, if that was a gun, you
No,
could
it's
get it.
on.
Okay.
Recording.
Jason, where'd you go? Hey, is this in black and white or what?
No,
Hey,
it's color, but
The camera
you're too
was
cheap.
made in the same country I was. Hey, Todd. Todd, take some crayons and color
This is a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Watch your show.
It
Don't.
doesn't focus real quick. It doesn't focus. So your glasses real quick.
Stop it!
No, don't. It's black.
Come here.
It's a 3D movie. Watch this.
Play cheese.
Cheese.
Say your name.
Your name.
What is your name, sir? You're on candid camera. Smile. Hey, what? How
Todd's
come it?
dad.
Now remove it.
How come it isn't focusing? There we go.
That's because he had glasses on it. He had his glasses over it.
Smile. You're on candid camera. Okay, sing a song. Just solo.
Sing Baby Bumblebee.
Glasses.
Here's a prank call. We'll call 6701. Let's call school and say there's a bomb in there, okay?
Oh, God.
This is Nino. Who's that? Oh, that's Tim.
Hey, we'll make an earthquake.
Move.
There's
Jimmy.
an earthquake. Oh my
Move.
gosh, everyone scatter.
Move for a minute. Lean
You
back.
want to see your chum.
Blow kisses. Blow kisses. Say hi, Carmen. There's the monkey face.
Everybody wanted to see an earthquake on the tape.
Don't. Look at all that junk food. You guys are gonna die.
Junk food with a snack cake.
Smile.
Hey, Jim.
Okay, how you turn this off?
Just flick the button.
For 2 days and 2 nights, scores of firefighters have been occupied with this blaze. They're not alone. Both the Air Force and the Pentagon are keeping a watchful eye on this fire. That's owing to the important role the Oklahoma City Air Logistics Center plays in the nation's defense. Oklahoma City is the largest of the 5 air logistics centers maintained by the Air Force. Tinker's major responsibility is maintenance work on the nation's fleet of B-52s. The aging bombers are also being fitted with the air-launched cruise missile. A shutdown of maintenance work in Oklahoma City would pose an inconvenience, but according to a former Tinker commander, no threat to national security.
But in terms of its impact on the national defense, I don't think it would be one that you could measure because of the plans that we have, we can shift that workload to other places and still get it done.
Edwards says much of Tinker's maintenance work could be shifted to the Air Logistics Center in San Antonio. In addition, while repairs are being performed at Tinker, contractor workloads could be increased and shifted to other buildings on the base. Just before sundown, trucks belonging to the B.J. Hughes services arrived at the fire scene. The Air Force has hired the company to assist the firefighting effort by using a time-tested method of fighting oil well fires.
We plan to use nitrogen in this special application to help purge the roofing, flood it, and suffocate the fire.
Extinguishing the fire is only the first step. Evaluating the extent of damage and effecting repairs will follow in the days ahead and will be closely watched by officials in Oklahoma City and Washington. Gan Matthews, Newsline 9, late edition.
They will put that liquid nitrogen on it later on if the water does not work, and they should know by about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning if they can get this under control. So we would advise you to watch the Ben and Butch show tomorrow morning, because by then we'll know if the 8,500 people who work in this building will need to go to work tomorrow morning. This is Scott Wallace, News 4, reporting live from Tinker Air Force Base.
Well, if the cigarettes Livestock, just briefly, Doug Hjort, do you think we've seen the bottom in these futures and cash prices in cattle and hogs? We at least had a rebound.
It certainly looked good this week, Chet. I think we've still got some problems, but I think we made a major step towards seeing the bottom put in here. Our carcass weights are still very, very large, over 1,100 pounds on the cattle, 247 pounds or something like that on the hogs, very heavy. And we don't see any real indication that they're coming down in hard numbers, although the feedlots seem to be cleaning up pretty good in the Southwest. I think the futures this week, especially on Friday, put in a very strong move. Technically, they're going to look good, especially if we could go higher, another 50 cents to $1 next week, and hold that. Then the technicians would start to...
And you think that enough has happened that maybe the cash will begin to come along?
I think probably so. The cash markets are just kind of bouncing along the bottom here, and I think in another 2 or 3 weeks maybe.
If it's the bottom, why, that's what we're looking for. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. That wraps up this edition of Market to Market. Now we'll return next week with a close-up of a Texas-sized organic farmer. Till then, I'm Chet Randolph. Thanks for joining us, and have a good week.
Test your scientific knowledge with guest panelist as Art Fleming hosts the National Science Test on Nova. Tuesday night at 7 here on OETA.
Market to Market is a production of Iowa Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content. This program was made possible by grants from the Central Educational Network and this and other public television stations.
Local presentation of Market to Market is made possible in part through a grant from the Oklahoma Wheat Commission. Additional funding provided by Hibden Tire Centers.
What could be more exciting than a parade, especially one which features all the best marching bands for miles around? The banging drums, clashing cymbals, and blaring horns, twirlers and flag corps, and the colorful uniforms. They're all a part of the Enid Tri-State Music Festival and its multi-million-dollar parade. For the brightest in high school, junior high, and elementary marching bands, join OETA this Saturday at 1 o'clock as they strike up the bands in Enid.
The decisions made here on Capitol Hill affect all of us. They affect our jobs, our pocketbooks, our quality of life. I'm Harding Carter, and I'll be looking at what Congress is doing every week on my new program, Capitol Journal.
Sunday afternoon at 4:30. This is the OETA, public television for all of Oklahoma.
The 53rd Annual Enid Tri-State Music Festival.
multi-million-dollar parade.
Hi, I'm Kevin of the Enid High School Big Blue Marching Band.
I'm Beth.
We want to welcome you and the 73 bands, twirling corps, and drill teams who will be competing in the multi-million-dollar parade.
You know, we say it's the Tri-State Music Festival, but actually it's Kansas, Texas, Missouri, and Oklahoma that are represented.
And it's not just marching bands that compete. It's also a contest for choral groups, jazz bands, and symphonies.
There are a lot of good musicians here.
And a lot of good music.
We know you're going to enjoy listening and watching some of the most colorful marching bands around.
Hey, Beth, that includes us. We better get in formation.
So we'll turn it over to Larry Miller, OETA, and Dr. Milburn Carey of the Enid Tri-State Music Festival.
For the multi-million-dollar parade.
Welcome, everybody, to the 53rd Annual Tri-State Music Festival from Enid, Oklahoma. I'm Larry Miller, along with Dr. Milburn Carey, who now serves as a consultant. And Dr. Carey, a beautiful day for the Tri-State Band Day multi-million-dollar parade.
This is a great day, Larry. It certainly is. We have sunshine, bright sunshine. I see all the judges are getting in place here to judge the parade. The Herald Trumpets are from Washington, D.C. are out in front and ready to give us some fanfares for some of the dignitaries as they come by. Isn't that a beautiful sight over there to the left?
It absolutely is. You know, Dr. Carey, this is a very special day for all of Oklahoma, certainly Enid, which has hosted it for, these many years.
And this is the mayor, Jim Underwood, and the Herald Trumpets are going to play Salute to Our New Beginning. Mayor Underwood, that was just saluted there, participated in the first Tri-State Music Festival as an E-flat tuba player from Wacomas, Oklahoma, about 7 miles south of here. He was a member of the Phillips University Band and worked on it as a student, of course, at the time out there. He was elected just last week as the new mayor of Enid. And the second fanfare just played was fanfare for a dignified occasion. And that is in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Dan Parnell, who is the base commander at Vance Air Force Base on the southwest corner of Enid.
Now, the Herald Trumpets, that's something new, isn't it, Dr. Carey?
Yes,
the
sir.
Herald Trumpets, we've not seen those folks before.
This is the first time that they have been here. We have been trying for a number of years to bring this outstanding, colorful group to Enid. They are from the United States Air Force Band stationed at Fort Myer, Virginia. This is the group that plays for the president, of course, and all state occasions at the White House. Many things happen, of course, in the Rose Garden, and they're usually lined up around the balcony.
Well, it adds a nice dignified touch to the Enid Tri-State Music Festival. You know, one of the things I'm always rather enchanted by are the vast array of older automobiles, like that 54 Kaiser going off the screen there to the left. Always a lot of fun to see these folks arrive in real style.
Yes. 1937 Packard going by there.
And on the screen, there's the Packard, and being followed up by a couple of nice, bright fire engine red automobiles.
Don't think we have any judges that would fit into that last automobile going there.
You know, Dr. Carey, I was saying this is really an important day for Enid. And I think for you it must be something of a personal milestone as well. This is your 50th year of being associated with the music festival here in Enid.
Yes, it is, Larry. 47 years, of course, as managing director. And when we reached the 50th anniversary, I asked the board of directors to be relieved of the responsibility to the festival. And so they made me the consultant. And they asked me a question now and then.
You know, with all of the folks who've just moved into Oklahoma who may be unfamiliar with Enid Tri-State Band Day Festival, we might give them an idea of just the breadth and the scope of this event. Brings a lot of people to town, doesn't it?
Well, yes, we think that there'll be about 40,000 people here today. There were 14,000 participating in the festival this year.
Well, we have a few moments before our first band arrives on the scene. I know you've got a gentleman here you'd like to visit with very briefly. So as we get ready to see the first band coming into marching sight here, and that's going to be the Guthrie High School Band, why don't you go ahead and chat here briefly with your guest?
Well, I'm very pleased to introduce Captain David H. Dietrich, Jr., who conducts the Herald Trumpets. He also serves as the Associate Bandmaster and Director of the Ceremonial Band for the United States Army Band stationed at Fort Myer, Virginia. Captain, we're certainly happy to have you here today, and we've been enjoying all of the beautiful sounds that the Herald Trumpets have been giving us during the festival.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for us to be here today.
Very good. I know that you went to the University of Cincinnati, and you also have a degree from Catholic University in Washington, D.C., and I think I noticed that you have been in the service since 1972. Would you tell us the various other places that you have been before you got to Washington?
Well, when I first came into service, I was a euphonium player and played for 5 years in the Army Field Band, traveling throughout the country. Played in Oklahoma, among other states, in my tours. Then I went to the bandmaster school, was the bandmaster at Fort Dix, New Jersey. I went from there, when I was commissioned, to the 5th Army headquarters in Texas, and inspected and supervised 19 National Guard and Reserve bands, including 2 here in Oklahoma. Well, the 2 years I was in Texas, and then I went to the Army Band in Washington, and I've been director of the ceremonial band and Herald Trumpet since then.
Well, this is certainly a great group. We have enjoyed all of it, and we're going to hear more, of course, this afternoon. You made a great, big, tremendous hit out at the marching contest last evening, of course, and there were 2 numbers that particularly I noticed that pleased the crowd. One was the Ruffles and Flourishes, followed by the march that's played for the President, and also the fanfare for the Olympic occasion.
That's right.
Everybody recognized those 2.
They recognize them. They're our most popular fanfare.
Well, we're certainly pleased to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Carey, you were talking about 40,000 some people in Enid. My goodness, it seems to me that must take quite an effort on the part of the community to prepare and get all spruced up or gussied up for this occasion.
Well, there are just actually 14,000 that are participating in the festival. The 40,000 would be those that are viewing the parade. And the people are very cordial to us and very cooperative in the community. They work with us very well. A number of the students are housed in private housing. And, of course, the restaurants as well as the hotels are getting a lot of business these days.
Well, I do know that the city folks have been out working, cleaning the streets and getting all the extra garbage containers out, getting ready for that onslaught of some 40,000 people that arrive in town to enjoy all of the great festivities of this several days of the Enid Music Festival, the Tri-State Music Festival. And of course, as you and I have talked, this is really one of the high points of the festival, but there are ever so many other activities that the young people are involved in.
Well, that's true. We had marching contests Thursday and Friday nights, and then, of course, the big climax of the Tri-State Music Festival is always the grand concert. It's now being held on Saturday afternoon. There will be about 1,000 selected students participating in a band and an orchestra and a chorus, and they will be conducted by 11 internationally known conductors during the afternoon's program.
Dr. Margaret Bluvinger, Managing Director and President of the Tri-State Board, we want to express our gratitude to her for assistance in making the necessary preparations for our broadcast. This is Dr. Carey, I think our 7th year of being involved with the Enid Tri-State Music Festival. This is, if I count them correctly, about my 4th or 5th year being involved with it. And OETA always looks forward to coming to Enid and basking on all the warm hospitality that you folks render ever so nicely, not just to OETA, but to all of those 40,000 folks.
Well, we certainly look forward to having you each year, Larry.
Well, let's get underway here. Band number 1 coming down the street.
This is the Guthrie, Oklahoma High School Band. The director is Don Ansley and Ellen Hawkins, and Mark Nottingham and John Ward are the signal drum majors. This is the Territorial Regiment Band, Class A. 70 members in blue and white uniforms, came about 70 miles. They're playing El Camino by Jerry Nowak, the Guthrie High School Band. Larry, the bands are meeting in several different classes, of course, in competition. I will tell you about the bands as they go by. This has happened to be a Class A band, and they're representing schools of between 750 and 999 in the high school. That was a 70-piece band that went by from Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Dr. Carey, this is called the Tri-State Music Festival, but in fact more states are represented than just 3 states, are there not?
Yes, Larry, we've had as many as 18 different states represented, as well as Canada. They've come from Maryland and California, and of course southern Texas and Minnesota, as well as Canada. We've had 12 states represented in any one year, and in recent years we've had about 7 states represented, and I think there are 5 coming this year.
Has it ever rained on your parade?
It never has rained on our parade.
Has it ever snowed on your parade?
Well, we had a snow one time in 1938. After all the students were here on Wednesday night, we had a terrific snowstorm. However, the festival at that time was held in the latter part of March or early April. And after all the students were here, we tried to have programs downtown because many of them could not get out to their assigned housing. And many of them slept in the theaters and in other buildings downtown. And they were wearing only white duck trousers and thin sweaters in those days. And of course, they weren't warm enough. And many of the merchants loaned these students. There were about 5,000 coming to the festival at that time. And some of the students had garments that were loaned to them, and the merchants told me that they didn't lose one garment, and all of the ones that they had handed out just loaned to these students.
Well, it certainly speaks well of those young people, and one would think certainly even with 14,000 or whatever the figure is that we have coming now, that most of these young people are really on their best behavior and do a very fine job of representing their schools and their communities. And we're just about ready now to hear another band as they move in front of the judging stand, which is right across the way from us here in our OETA announce booth.
This is the Tahlequah High School Band, and Harvey Price is the director. There are 3 signal drum majors, Curtis Proctor, Ray Robertson, and Heath Miller. These are the Tigers, and they're in Class A, and they number 110. They're dressed in orange, black, and white uniforms. They're about 180 miles from Enid. And their selection when they get underway is Fiero by Bob Cotter. This is the 8th consecutive year that the Tahlequah High School Band, under the direction of Harvey Price, has been a participant at the Tri-State Music Festival.
Well, the band is momentarily delayed before they march in front of the judging stand. I don't see anything that would impede their flow going forward, so but perhaps they are awaiting some word either from their band director or from one of the festival officials before they start their parade in front of the judging stand. They all like to look just as good as they possibly can when they get in front of the judges.
Certainly do. So this is Tahlequah. Lost a hat.
Aha.
A few balloons, I see, are going over here.
Dr. Carey, you know, something we don't often think about, but these young people some of them are quite small, carrying very large instruments, and they've got a ways to walk in this parade. Any parade, I suppose.
That's right. Our line of march is about 8 blocks in the Tri-State Parade. You notice the lady that was picking up the pieces as the band went by reminded me of years ago. I was director of the Enid Legionnaires Drum and Bugle Corps, and we were marching down Market Street in San Francisco, and I was always along the side, and we had a few women and other men that were watching the group as they would go down, because anything can happen anytime. And I noticed one young lady who was playing a tenor drum and using thongs as they were swinging the sticks, and her hands were bleeding.
My goodness.
And I walked over to her, of course, and I said, "My goodness, drop out. We'll take care of you." She said, "I've come all the way to San Francisco. I'm going to march every step in this parade."
Well, certainly the dedication is exemplified, I think, by the determination we see here on the faces and in the performance of all of these young people and their directors, as you pointed out. And I remember last year seeing the terrific stamina that many of these band directors have, because some of them are coming through the line of march not just once, some of them not just twice, but more.
Right. We've had several of them 3 times at least. And that means, of course, they have the entire program, perhaps elementary and junior high and high school. And perhaps they direct a chorus on the side, too, in their school schedule.
Well, the nice bright red and white uniforms of Carrier Junior High School.
Carrier is just north and west of Enid, and Chris Marks is the director, and Nancy Douglas is the drum major. These are the Wolves, and the band is from the class of junior high, Class E. There are 40 members of this band in red and white, and they are about 15 miles from Enid, and when they reach the judges' stand, they will be playing the Spirit of America. This group has participated in the last 15 Tri-State Music Festivals.
Well, instruments at the ready, approaching the judging stand, awaiting word from the drum majorette. And I expect we're going to hear some music here momentarily. Well, from the 40-some that were marching with those folks, we go from the 40-some marching with the Carrier Junior High Band to a significantly larger junior high band, marching band now.
Larry, there are going to be 170 in this band. This is the band combined from the 3 junior highs. This is the B band. Their directors are Leon Jewell at Waller, Renee Leyenbauer at Longfellow, and Regina Woolbright at Emerson. We'll see all of them, I'm sure, marching along with the band. Blue, white, red uniforms playing junior varsity.
Well, I couldn't help but notice the headgear worn by the Enid Junior High School band there, marking the Tri-State Music Festival. I should have had one of those, Dr. Carey. I see you have your parade judge hat
beautiful
here.
hat. How about that? All
Yeah,
white parade judge.
Nice,
Yes.
nice hat here. Well, we'll have to see if we can't commandeer one of those Enid Tri-State Music Festival hats here before the morning is out. Well, here we have an elementary band. This comes to us from Pond Creek. Is that right?
Right. This is the grade school band, and Mel Radcliffe is the director. Sam Holler is the drum major. These are the Panthers, 20 pieces from Pond Creek, Class C elementary school, wearing black and white uniforms. Pond Creek is about 30 miles north of Enid. They were playing Big Leagues March by Kenyon, and they have been coming to Tri-State all 53 years.
Well, that's a tremendous record. I suspect a lot of the folks who are out here enjoying the music, and of course I know there are a lot of hometown folks here, a lot of people who come in from the various communities participating, and I imagine many of them make it a regular event to come in and enjoy all of the fine performances by these young people.
We've had more than 1 million students participating in the festival over the 53 years, and of course many of them come back, particularly Enid people that have been associated with the festival over a number of years. It makes no difference where they live, they come back to Tri-State Week.
Well, here's the Carmen Tacoma Elementary School Band from Tacoma.
This is a 31-piece band wearing blue and gold uniforms. The Raiders, Edith Ent is the drum major, Julie Cook, the director, and they're playing Marine's Hymn, arranged by Eric Osterling. Been here 17 years in the Tri-State Music Festival. Carmen Tacoma Elementary School.
Well, no sooner is one out of the way than here comes another one approaching the judges' stand.
From about 15 miles west of Enid, the Drummond Elementary Band. 55 in this unit. Kim Kennedy and Tori Chestnut are the directors. Charles Belknap is the director, and they're playing Royal March by John Kenyon. They've been in the festival 6 years. And now Kremlin Hillsdale is coming into view. The elementary school from there. Joel Haas is the director. And these are the Bronx. 16 pieces in this band, wearing red and white uniforms. 15 miles from Enid, out of Kremlin, north of us. The band's playing Our Director.
Well, Dr. Carey, any observation about the numbers of young people in these days of computers and all of the different diversions that young people have as far as their involvement in instrumental music is concerned?
I think they're still as much interested in music as they ever were. We have very fine organizations in the public schools. Most of the musicians are working on computers because we've had by far the most talented people in the music program over these years. And they're just adding something else to do, and they're enjoying it very much.
Well, already another marching band approaching the judges' stand.
This is Lahoma. John Long is the director, Glenda Miller the drum major. These are the Bulldogs, 36 in this band, wearing blue and white uniforms. Walking and Talking by Andy Clark is their selection. They've been in the Tri-State 4 years. About 12 miles west of Enid is the Oklahoma public school system. This is the North Enid Elementary Band. And now we're going to hear the Rio North Enid Elementary Band coming into view. Gail Edmondson is the director. Billy Pieper is the drum major. Actually, he's the right guide in this unit. These are the Pioneers, wearing beautiful blue and white uniforms. North Enid Elementary, of course, is on the north edge of Enid. And when they reach us, they will be playing the Battle Hymn of the Republic, arranged by Savarda. They've been coming to Enid Tri-State about 15 years. There are about 50 in this unit. The North Enid Elementary Pioneers Band.
We can all cozy together here. In just a moment, we're going to have another guest with whom we'll be talking in the announce booth. So this is the Pioneer Pleasant Vale Grade School, is that right, Dr. Carey?
This is the North Enid Elementary,
okay.
Yes.
Well, we did have one that slipped in there. Then,
That's right. We didn't know who that was. But we do have another guest, and we're certainly pleased to have Lieutenant Colonel Dan Parnell, who is the base commander of Vance Air Force Base. Vance is located on the southwest side of Enid, and they've been very cooperative over all 53 years, I think, that we have had the Tri-State Music Festival. Colonel, it's real nice to have you here.
It's good to be here. It's really a pleasure to be here on such a beautiful day and see all these kids out here doing a great job.
Where were you stationed before you came to Enid?
Well, I spent 4 years at the Pentagon, Washington, D.C., and before coming to Enid back in 1982.
Did you hear the Herald Trumpets anytime you were in Washington?
Only on one occasion, but they did a great job again last night. I got the chance to see them out at Plainsman Field.
Terrific organization. We've had a number of units from the Air Force here, of course, from Washington and from the Air Force Academy. I'm an Air Force family. Two of my sons were in the Air Force, and one of them graduated from the Air Force Academy, and now is retired. He taught out there 15 years after he graduated and went to Affett in Dayton as one of the schools that he attended, I recall. ended up at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque. Colonel, it's real nice to have you here, and we certainly appreciate all the fine cooperation that we've had from Vance Air Force Base over these
Well,
years.
it's great to represent all the men and women from Vance, and we have a great community relationship here, and we're just glad to be able to participate today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. And that was the Pioneer Pleasantville Grade School Band going by. Dave Holland is the director. Drum major is Dustin Albright. These are the Mustangs. There are 45 pieces in the band wearing maroon, gold, and white uniforms. Just about 4 miles from Enid, and they were playing the Victors. They've been in Tri-State for 11 years. The Pioneer Pleasantville Grade School Band just passed in review. Dave Holland, the director.
Well, now that we've heard from the Air Force family and Vance Air Force Base, now let's let the Navy get a word in edgewise.
Oh, right, fine.
No, actually, I don't think this year, Dr. Carey, we've seen the huge flag that had shown up in a few of the previous years that some of the Navy folks provided. But let me tell you, we have had already some outstanding young people, and here comes another one of those elementary bands, this one from Ringwood.
Debbie Lambert is the director of the Lambert Band. She'll be going around the square at least 3 times today, I believe. She has 3 different programs going out there. Now this is the Walcomas Grade School Band coming into view. Larry LeSueur and Janice Thompson are the co-directors of this band. 2 drum majors, Chad Barnett and Michelle Young. These are the Chiefs. 82 pieces in this band, Class D, wearing white and blue trim uniforms. About 8 miles south of Enid is Walcomas. And the selection is Colonel John.
Well, it takes all ages, and I suspect that these are some of the younger young people here at Enid for the Enid Tri-State Music Festival.
Well, Larry, these are the Thunderbird Pee-wee Twirling Corps. And Mrs. Belva Lamb and Kim Lamb Akers are the directors of this group. Kara Krause and Rogers are drum majors, wearing white and blue uniforms. First one out here in front, the little feature twirler in front is Amy Shields, 6 years old. Just won Miss Majorette of Oklahoma and will represent Oklahoma at Notre Dame in July this summer. The Thunderbird Pee-wee Twirling Corps, directed by Belva Lamb and Kim Lamb Akers.
Well, what happens here, of course, is you really call this stealing the show, because these little gals, let me tell you, they steal the show. They really do.
I've often wondered how they could march all the way around the line of march here with all those medals on.
My goodness, many, many campaigns, obviously, they've been involved in.
And next we have the Juvenile Twirling Corps. Same directors, Belva Lamb and Kim Lamb Akers. Wendy Kennedy and Amanda Stevens are the drum majors. They're also wearing blue and white uniforms. They always incorporate some of the drummers from some of the Enid schools to give them the beat as they go around the parade. And now we're going to see the Thunderbird Junior Corps. Same directors, Velva Lamb and Kim Lammakers, Angela Stevens, Lisa Justice, and Christy Thompson are the signal drum majors, also wearing blue and white uniforms.
Ah, I hear us. Finally.
Feature twirler in front of the Junior Corps is Miss Kim Kennedy from Drummond, Oklahoma. Kim is the national champion show twirler. She won this honor at the Nationals in Notre Dame last summer. These are the Thunderbird Junior Corps.
Those are colorful outfits there in front. The color guard in front. And I suspect holding those flags up in this
wind,
in this strong wind, we do have a pretty good south wind coming up the street.
Yes, Captain Dietrich was telling about the tabards that were on the trumpets. He said if the wind became much stronger, they would have to remove them because they would interfere with the playing of the herald trumpets.
My goodness. Well, you can tell as these young people are carrying various banners up and down the street, and also in some of the camera shots, you'll notice the flags that are flying across the street are whipping right along here. I suppose we have a good 15-mile-an-hour wind anyway.
These are the Stars and Stripes, a twirling corps from Stillwater, with Denise Gilkey Farrell and Patricia Christmore as the directors. Nicola Lee is the drum major, wearing red and white and blue uniforms, about 60 miles from Enid. The Stars and Stripes Twirling Corps. Two different units. The smaller group, Tammy Parks is the director of the signal drum major. And they're wearing also red and white uniforms. They've been attending Tri-State about 3 years. The directors are Denise Farrell, Patricia Kretschmar from Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Well, Dr. Carey, I'm not going to be misled this year. You know, last year I thought that spring surely had sprung because the weather was pretty good for Enid Tri-State Music Festival, and then I heard the birds during the parade, and I was sure that summer had come. And I think what's happened is one of these vendors is selling a little bird of some sort that chirps along throughout the morning.
They may be. We have all kinds of sounds
oh, yes.
at the Tri-State Music Festival. Everything from the highest pitch to the lowest pitch, everything in between. And this is the Chickasha High School Band from about 110 miles south of Enid. They have a new director this year, Joe Wayne Harper. Don Newman is also assisting, who is the former director and past director of the high school, and Carrie Roderick. Roberta Richardson is the drum major. These are the Chicks in Class Double B. 86 pieces in this band, purple and gold uniforms, and they are playing Fierro when the music gets underway. The Chickasha High School Band in Class Double B. The Class 2B schools are 450 to 749 enrollment in the high school. That is the Chickasha High School Band just passing in review. We have another guest, and this is Dr. Kim Keithley, who is the new superintendent of schools in Enid, and I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Keithley before. You may know that I was on the school board for 16 years before you came here. I've been off about 5 or 6 years, I guess, right now. Certainly I enjoyed all of my years on the school board, but Dr. Keithley, we're certainly happy to have you here and have you available here for an interview.
Yes,
What do you think of Tri-State and Enid, Oklahoma? You have a lot to talk about, probably.
It changes quite a few things happening during the end of the first week in May, and it's interesting to me to see the numbers of youngsters here, 15,000 from all over the state of Oklahoma and other states. I think it's quite a festival. Been not only observing the parade, but some of the band performances out at the stadium. I think it's an excellent opportunity for young people to learn and develop their music skills.
Well, I learned that school is out today in Enid.
Right.
So you don't have anything to do, I guess, all day today.
Well, yesterday, Friday, when school was out, we played golf.
Oh, I see.
We took advantage of a day off.
That's very good. Well, we're certainly happy to have you here. I know you came from around the Kansas City area someplace.
Yes, Lee Summit, Missouri.
Lee Summit, yes. I used to hear the Lee Summit Band in the contest in Columbia when they were having band contests at the State University up there. This is your first year at Enid. Do you have any impressions you'd like to give us on Enid, Oklahoma?
I really like Enid, and my family does. And our desire was to get away from the big city area, get back to a more isolated community that's kind of self-sufficient. And I think Enid is a terrific place to raise kids, and to live and work. We've really enjoyed it.
Well, you must be a real top man. I heard during the course of the interviews that there were some 50 people, I believe, that were making applications for this position, and after all of them, why, you were the one selected, so we're expecting great things from you, of course, in Enid, Oklahoma, and the public school system.
Well, thank you.
Everything we've heard has certainly been great about you so far this year.
Thank you very much.
And coming into view is the Salisal High School Band. Don Bickel is the director. Chrissy Catt, the drum major. These are the Black Diamonds, 48 pieces. This band, Class Double B, wearing black and orange uniforms. They're about 220 miles to Enid. And they're also playing Fierro. Larry, this is the third time we've heard Fierro.
One of the popular numbers, obviously, this year. Now, Dr. Carey, I can't help but wonder how much Sousa we're going to hear today, if any. How much? I was just wondering how much Sousa, John Philip Sousa, we're going to hear today,
at all,
if any.
In fact, the captain was telling me that they were going to play Stars and Stripes Forever as the final number on the grand concert, and most of the bandsmen had not played the Stars and Stripes Forever. And he was telling me about watching a parade in San Antonio, and out of 53 bands that went by, only one band played a march. The rest of them were playing some kind of an arrangement of pop tunes. This is the Chandler Band. Chandler is directed by Russell Gillian, a Class B high school band. Now, as we look at these beautiful red and white uniforms coming into view, the Comanche High School Band, Mac Morse is the director, Karen Lehman is the drum major. They're going to be playing Apache, and the composers are Jerry Lorden and by Bob Cotter. About 149 miles from Enid is Comanche. 32 pieces in this band, the Indians. Comanche High School, directed by Max Morse.
Dr. Carey, I've noticed this year that a lot of folks are perched atop buildings with cameras and both still cameras and video cameras. Seems to be one of the popular places to be this year is to get atop one of the buildings here in downtown Enid.
That's right. Boy up there is a former member of the band out of Phillips and is sort of going into the business of videotaping. He's a postal employee, but enjoys this moonlighting, I guess, that he's doing, and is doing a real fine job of it.
Well, this looks like the Chisholm High School band from North Enid, Oklahoma.
This is the Chisholm High School band, and Kathy Priesendal is the drum major. She's also a bassoonist in the band and sometimes plays saxophone. Chris Marks is the director. The Chisholm High School in North Enid. They're in Class B. And 40 pieces in this band wearing red, white, and blue uniforms, about 7 miles from Enid. This is a Spanish tune arranged by Dale Hopper. Been in Tri-State 15 years. Well, we have another guest in the booth, and I'm certainly pleased to present to our TV audience the new mayor of Enid, Oklahoma. This is his honor. Jim Underwood was elected about 2 weeks ago. I've known Jim a long time because he participated in the first Tri-State Music Festival as an E-flat tuba player from Wacomas, Oklahoma, about 7 miles from here. And then he came to Phillips University as a student and was in the Phillips University band and also the military band that I was the director of out here at that time. And I've watched his progress over the years. Jim was a pilot, a flyer in the World War II. And then he came back to Phillips University and was a student in the seminary and was a minister here for some years. And Jim, we're certainly happy to be having you as the new mayor of Enid, Oklahoma.
Well, thank you, Governor. Kind of interesting and unusual, to say the least.
Well, I'm sure you've had a few phone calls since you've been elected.
Yeah, one or two. We really don't want to go into those right now, but sometime we'll do that.
Well, it's great to have you here in the TV booth. I wanted everybody to see the new mayor of Enid.
Thank you. This has been a neat day. I'm impressed with the bands and the kids, and particularly the little bitty ones. You know, they really turned me on. The little grade school bands, just so neat.
But don't you miss this E-flat tuba playing that you used to do?
Some of the bands, you see, I told Margaret Bouvinger that they didn't have a bass horn at all, and that can't be a band. And she said, well, you better get you one and go down and play with it.
That's right.
But I decided I wouldn't.
You might not have the lip for it anymore.
Huh?
You might not have the lip for it
That's
anymore.
true. That's what I was thinking.
This is the Kingfisher Band, Yellow Jackets. David Price, the director, Tracy Martin, the drum major. About 60 miles south of Enid. Tri-State Class B, wearing blue and gold uniforms. Topaz is the selection they're playing. Have been in 51 past Tri-State. Kingfisher, David Price, director. Now, His Honor, the mayor, do you have any plans you'd like to tell us about? Plans for Enid, Oklahoma? During your regime as the mayor, you'll be a mayor at least 2 years.
Yeah.
I believe that's the term.
Well, the only plans we have, the major plans we have, is try to attract some industry and new business into the city.
I see.
That, of course, is going to be difficult because every community in this part of the country is trying to do the same thing. But we're going to work at it and utilize the best minds we have in the community to help plan for that.
During these next 2 years, I'm sure we're going to have our community center completed over here on the south side of the square.
We're going to work on that very hard, Melbourne. We plan to do that. I think the plans are just about completed now, and they are about, they've had the plans out for bids and had to resubmit them again because they came in over the bids, but we're about to get that worked out.
Well, that's good news because no doubt Tri-State will be able to make some use of that building when it's completed. It's certainly going to be very handy right downtown around the square.
Oh, yeah, I think it'll make a significant contribution to the community life and attract other groups into the community for all kinds of meetings.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you here and glad you could leave the judge's stand a little while to come over. And,
thank you, Melvin. It's good to see you.
On television. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
And this is the Waller Junior High Band coming into view right now. Waller is a junior high in Enid, directed by Leon Jewell. 81 pieces in this band wearing the gold and white uniforms.
Wow, there.
And now this is the Kerr Junior High School Band from Del City. Ray Gudenberg is the director. Missy Florney, Carmen Gosnell, the drum majors. These are the Eagles, 88 in this band, wearing green and white uniforms, approximately 100 miles from Enid. We're playing You're a Grand Old Flag, arranged by Bill Moffett. This band has participated in Tri-State for 31 years. The Kerr Junior High Band from Del City, Ray Gudenberg, the director.
One of the things that I always find of interest, too, at the Tri-State Music Festival during this Band Day parade is the diversity of uniforms. Of course, that was a more traditional band uniform, I guess, that we're accustomed to, but we see a little bit of everything here, don't we?
Yes, we do. They've sort of gone away from the caps, particularly, are different nowadays than used to be. They've gone to the drum corps type of headpiece with the plume on the side.
Well, and I suspect for many of the smaller schools, and particularly when you're dealing with elementary and junior high school bands, there's a matter of economy, too. We've seen several of the bands out here with sneakers and blue jeans and T-shirts and ball caps, and certainly that's a uniform that's fairly easy for everybody to come up with and to maintain. Well, green is a popular color. The last band that came through had green uniforms, and coming into the line of march now, approaching the judges' bench, another marching band donning the color green. Where's this band
This
from?
is the Emerson Junior High Band of Enid. Regina Wilbright, director, Mike Bartley and Brad Bartley are the drum majors. The Fighting Irish, here we hear Coronata, arranged by Bob Cotter.
Well, Dr. Carey, hearing your newly elected mayor, Jim Underwood, talk about trying to attract industry and business, that's certainly something that most communities across the state, and indeed the state of Oklahoma, is interested in doing. I would guess that if the merchants of Enid could have the infusion of people throughout the year that they have during the Tri-State Music Festival, they'd probably be pretty happy folks.
Yes, they would. We have approximately 55,000 in Enid right now. That's the latest Chamber of Commerce figures, anyway, that I've heard.
No plans that you know of for the city to open up a trade office in London or Tokyo yet, though.
I haven't heard about that one yet.
Well, of course, we've had the state of Oklahoma interested in doing that, and now the city of Tulsa is, the mayor of Tulsa has expressed an interest, so one never knows. Well, a bit of breeze whipping down the intersection here of Broadway and Grand. We're in Enid, Oklahoma for the Enid Tri-State Band Day Music Festival, the 53rd annual Tri-State Music Festival. This is the Oklahoma Educational Television Authority, and we're happy to be on hand along with Dr. Milburn Carey, who's been associated with this particular event now for 50-some years. Nice to share the microphone with a man who knows what's going on here, Dr. Carey.
Well, thank you, Larry Miller. It's a real pleasure to be with you on this telecast, and it has been for the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. This is the Chickasay Junior High School Band. Don Newman, director. They're playing Apache.
everybody enjoys the parade, and not only the youngsters and the band leaders who are spearheading this effort and the community leaders, but even the young folks. There's a young lady who is enjoying the sunshine, appropriately dressed for this beautiful sunshiny day of the Enid Tri-State Music Festival. Here come the Cougars. Well, I know they're the Cougars because that's what their banner said there. This would be, let's see, we'll get their sign yet.
This band from Oklahoma City, Marvin Williams, is the director of this group. 32 pieces, Corpus Christi School.
Well, there are some of the judges for today's Band Day Parade. And before too long passes, I expect that we'll hopefully be talking with Dr. Margaret Bouvinger, who is somewhere, I believe, over in the area of the judges' table. Here comes the junior high school band from Argonia, Kansas. And this is, I think, one of the austere uniforms we were talking about earlier, Dr. Carey. Very easy to maintain and keep up. Very comfortable, I think, too, for the young people.
Yes, it is, Larry. The judges, Larry, are on the judges stand across the way, and I see the first one on the north end is Dr. Harry Haynes, is from West Texas at Canyon. He has been the director of the band at Phillips University, now out there serving as head of the department. Next to him is Mr. Castendake, Richard Castendake from OSU. And the next to him is Paul Montemura, also of OSU. Then we have Charles Swovo from the University of Texas is next. I see Kenneth Thompson from Wichita. Also Lyle Dilley from Wichita.
Well, it's nice to know that the music festival has the support of these fine professional musicians and educators who come in and participate in this festival, and I'm sure it's an important ingredient in the whole festival because there is so much more than just this judging of the parade today. But certainly there's a great benefit to be had by all of the young people learning from these folks who have been around for so very long in music and know whereof they speak.
And that was the La Homa High School band going by. Junior High, I should say, John Long is the director, Sarah Kummel, the drum major. The Bulldogs, 12 miles west of Enid, Ace in the Hole is what they were playing by Karen Harris. And this is the Marshall Covington Band. Passing in review at this particular time.
Well, it has to be one of the most popular tunes for marching bands.
And John Keady is the director of the Marshall Covington Douglas Junior High Band, 26 pieces.
Now we must give recognition to On Wisconsin, which we hear so many times throughout the year, and certainly is the fight song for ever so many high schools all across the country. I know that certainly it's the fight song for Jenks America High School, along with dozens of others, I'm sure, across Oklahoma. And here comes another junior high school band.
This is the Pioneer Pleasantville Junior High Band. About 10 miles from Enid. Carl Bivens is the director, Jill Graber, drum major. These are the Mustangs, 46 pieces in the band playing the Aggie War Hymn. The Pioneer Pleasantville Junior High Band, 7th and 8th graders. Well, that is the Aggie War Hymn.
Well, here's another interesting piece of headgear that you don't see a lot of marching bands with.
Just the sport cap, that works out pretty well.
And coming down the way, the more traditional band uniform. And if our line of march is correct here as to who should be next, I would guess this is from Ringwood.
David Lambert's going around for the second time in this parade, Ringwood, Oklahoma, about 20 miles west of Enid.